Did you know that overlords are filled with juicy red wine? What would you pay to put a straw in me? Is it worth 5 minerals?
10 minerals?
15 minerals. Anyways, hi!
Welcome to another week of Starcraft Amateur Hour.
Presented by?
Me?
No, not by you.
Me.
Presented by Starcraft.org.
Presented by Starcraft.org.
And fueled by Blackstone Wine.
I am Guns Akimbo.
You're not Guns Akimbo, I'm Guns Akimbo.
Today I'm Guns Akimbo.
And today I'm Guns Akimbo as well. And with me is Negative Sons.
I'm Guns Akimbo.
Okay,
I didn't play in this game.
Yeah.
This was another Protoss player. You'll see him later. Well, he's going to come on the show next week.
Cool.
So,
we're doing another cast between featuring a game between the two of us again, and why we're doing that is not because we love ourselves.
But we do. But it's not because of that.
Yeah.
It's because we didn't get that many replays submitted to us last week. Almost none.
I'd say a lot, just not enough.
I just don't think there was. There might have been none. There might have been one. There might have been two. I don't know. But anyway, not enough. And we really wanted to cast one of our games again, just to really show you guys that we're pretty desperate.
Yeah. What we need you to do is go to Starcraft.org and put your replays on the replay section of the site, and we'll cast them if
Help
they're
us,
good.
please.
You know, because otherwise we're just gonna keep sticking straws in overlords and drinking them
And talking about ourselves.
Yeah. So I'm
So let's talk about ourselves.
yeah, I'm the Zerg player in the
And I'm Guns
bottom
Akimbo.
left.
And what's the Zerg's build order in this game?
Well, actually, it's my normal build order. Which watch? Actually, the timing's off. Zerg have a perfect 10 pool build where the Overlord and the spawning pool, if done correctly, which wasn't this time, pop at the exact same moment.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Like it's the moment where you're like, Starcraft is such an art when you get it right.
When things in StarCraft match up like that, like timings, it's the same. It gives me the same feeling as when mountains sing and oceans spout beauty.
Does that happen?
Yeah. When you're listening to music and you're on a mountain and you're looking out over the ocean and it's just the beautiful waves, and you think for a moment that you see the goddess of the ocean. That's the same. It's the same thing when StarCraft 2 buildings come out at the same time.
So why were you hiding your probe over there?
Well, actually, I wasn't hiding my probe. You might think I was planning to do some like sneaky proxy pylon thing. But no, I was actually just trying to get my probe as far away from your ramp as possible, so that when your 6 Zerglings came out, they would have to travel as far as they could before they got to my base.
Gotcha. You've been getting pretty used to my 10 pool rush.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen it a lot from other Zergs in general, where they do spend those first Zerglings in to try to kill some probes, because it's just so hard for Protoss to do anything at this point. I mean, I had a really early gateway on 11, but it was right on 11, so practically 10, and I only have 2 Zealots out, and I just barely got to 2, and I had to chrono boost them out. So, without the chrono boost, I would have had 1, and you would have been able to just run in and get free probe kills, which you still do. You get 1, and
There's one.
I actually have to take my probes off minerals to help defend. And you get that.
Yeah, well,
you had 2.
Yeah,
I mean,
and then
that's enough to pay
and then
for
2
it.
survive, and 2 get to the Zonaga watchtower, and that's well, 1 survives. Never
I'm
mind.
sorry, that was pretty awesome.
That was cool.
I planned that.
Sentry snipe.
I
That was
planned
nice.
that from the very beginning.
But what I find the 10 pool rush with Zerg, it's pretty much my standard build at this point for the start of the game, because I don't see any disadvantage to it. You can easily switch over into an econ game. You can easily just get your opponent off guard off the bat, put him on the defensive, and it's yet to prove a disadvantage to me in any of the games I've played.
So now I'm adding some pylons, another gateway, and most importantly my cybernetics core, because I'm used to playing you, and I know that after you rush with your roaches, with your Zerglings, you like to rush with your roaches, and you usually send about 6 roaches in, and the only way Protoss can stand a chance is to get an Immortal out as quick as possible, because Zealots just melt.
Now this is why I like playing you, and the fact that we play each other all the time is that you're used to my standard roach build, but in this game, obviously there's no roach war.
You threw me a curveball.
Yeah, and I'm
A
going for
screwball, if you will.
Lairtech to Hydralisk den. And really my thinking behind this is you've been it took you a little while, but you finally really mastered pushing off the roach rush.
It's really difficult. I mean, it really involves perfect timing.
What's your solution to pushing back that
honestly,
rush?
it involves perfect timing, getting that second zealot out fast enough to send away the Zerglings, and then immediately putting your cybernetics core down and getting a a Immortal Chrono boosted out, and it's really that Immortal that pushes back the Roaches, not the Zealots, and you have to spend minimal resources before that point. So it's really a very, very tight build.
So it all comes down to getting the
It comes down to getting the
out.
Immortal out in the perfect time to counter the Roaches, basically.
Yeah,
but in this game, my Immortal comes out, and I'm like, hey, where's the Roaches?
Yeah, they're not here. But no, that's been every time you've done that build against my Roach Rush, it pushes right back. Maybe I get a Zealot down, maybe I get 2, but my Roaches, I have to either pull them back or just sacrifice them all to get anything else, and it's just.
I mean, and actually, I love that dynamic so far in PvZ, is that the Zealots by themselves will melt to Roaches, but once you get the Immortal out, then it's the Roaches that are just blow up. And nothing looks better than Zergling Wineblood all over the floor of your base.
I love Wineblood. But now the theory that I was having behind pushing Hydralisks at this point in the game was we were both of us were talking about Hardened Shields on the Immortals and talking about how, well, Hydralisks do 12 damage, Hardened Shields reduce everything to 10 damage. So really with the Hydralisk, you're doing almost a perfect amount of damage to just take them down to do the max damage without the Hardened Shields really kicking in. And I really wanted to test that this game to see how that works.
So
in
you went for
game.
Hydras to try to counter the Immortals because you saw how well they were doing against the Roaches.
Yeah, and I guess we never really had a chance to see, just because you had very good micro with your Zealots up front cutting down these Hydralisks.
Yeah.
Your Stalkers giving some support, and the Immortals just wrecking everything.
The Immortals do wreck if they have a little bit of distance to fire.
And to be honest, you could have ended the game right there, really, if you had gotten these 2 Sentry Shields down right there, blocked me off, killed the rest of my army off,
and pushed in.
That could have been GG right there.
And the thing is that I think that maybe once you get to a critical mass of Hydras, maybe they'll be good against Immortals. But it's the combination of the Immortal, the Hardened Shield plus the Sentry Guardian Shield, which I don't know how that interacts with each other, but I'm sure it interacts in some way, that it just reduces a lot of damage from the Hydralisks. And I think that's what let me turn you back at that point.
Now, realistically, you could have pushed in here. What was your thinking of, like, why didn't you? If you push in here right now, you probably could have taken the game.
Okay, well, I should have been pushing in. I was pretty sure you're setting up an expansion, which you're not. So I'm trying to match you. Oh, you are. Now you are. And I was thinking at this point that I need to scout you and see what you're building. So I'm going with a...
So it was a thing of you didn't want to...
I didn't want to overcommit.
And just then trade armies and be back to square one again.
The Protoss player didn't want to overcommit. It's not me. I'm just Kimbo. And so he looks like he's building some Phoenixes so he can fly into the Zerg base and see what's going on and decide whether it's time to push or not. And the interesting thing too about building Phoenixes is that if you build 3, you can start to lift up drones, get drone kills, kill overlords, and 3 is also the magic number of Phoenixes to get a queen kill. You lift it up twice, and over the course of those 2 Gravitron lifts, you can kill it off.
There's nothing worse than losing your queen.
It's like I would prioritize that higher than killing drones because it just sets your economy back so much.
And now the Zelnaga trade-off. That's why I love Zerglings. That's the one advantage. That Zelnaga towers are really created for Zerg. I feel like
it's really easy to have one of your little Zerglings come there and just take a nap.
Yeah, there's no cheaper unit in the game, and it gives you such a great view of in most maps, just the whole middle ground.
Yeah, and you like to see the middle ground.
I do. I love middle ground.
Because, what's cool is that Zerg actually gets to scout in this game.
Yeah. Well, that is the one shame that Zerg creep, the one shame for other races at least, is that Zerg creep really gives such a bonus to Zerg speed that other, having a drone or a probe on there, it won't last.
Totally. And I used to love probes in StarCraft 1. Probes could do so much. You could prevent him from putting down his hatchery with a probe. You could, steal gas with a probe. You could run around from Zerglings until they got speed, so you would know speed was done. You could, do all kinds of little tricks with them. You could kill SCVs, manor pylons. You want to talk about this real quick?
Sure.
So my Phoenixes are pushed away from your guys.
Yeah. Because that was a little bit... I think you were just used to me having Roaches at this point, and you were building those Phoenixes not even realizing.
Yeah, I did. I didn't expect you to have so many Hydras, even though I should have maybe... I mean, it's hard to know what you're doing when I can't scout you.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is exactly what I was talking about, is that... And now, in StarCraft 2, the only thing probes do is explode. They explode really cool. It's a cool explosion. It's blue, and Protoss players love blue. But that's pretty much all that they do.
Oh, you know what we forgot to talk about? About how... why we're a little bit late with this episode.
Oh yeah, we are a couple days late with this.
Yeah, we are. It's mainly because the New York area had a horrible storm.
We're still not sure if the world ended and anybody's going to see this.
Yeah, because there was a horrible storm, and like there's been power lines down. There's like been blackouts. People are expected to have like no power for a week at this point around here. Luckily we got power back, but we were playing games all Saturday, and we were like in the middle of like getting an awesome game, and been like, this is the one to cast, and blackout.
Hello and welcome to Starcraft Amateur Hour
Blackout Edition.
Episode 3 Blackout Edition.
We were playing Starcraft 2.
Yeah, all day.
Breakfast and then lunch.
Yeah.
No dinner yet.
No dinner.
There's a major storm going on. There's a blackout.
Yeah, there's trees in the streets, power lines down.
And so now we're just drinking. We're just drinking Starcraft 2 away.